It's time for Dodger baseball.
And these Dodgers at last are world champions.
Got it. They've done it. It's the impossible dream revisited.
The future Hall of Famer's got a ring.
We are the ones that won the World Series. It's just amazing.
Really, it lets your imagination run wild what Tony Gonsolin can be.
Got him with a curveball. Bouncing ball. There's one. And two. And Tony Gonsolin goes 1, 2, 3 through the top of the Mets order.
Now is making a case if he continues like this as an all-star possibly this year in Dodger Stadium.
It's cloudy and cool evening on the south side of Chicago. The rain has moved out, though, and tonight at Guaranteed Rate Field, the middle game of this interleague series between the Dodgers and White Sox. The Dodgers trying to avoid their second 4-game losing streak of this 2022 season. Hi, everyone. Welcome to Access Sportsnet Dodgers. I'm John Hartung alongside Jerry Hairston Jr., Nomar Garcia-Parr. Nomar, the Dodgers have lost 6 out of 8. It'd be nice if they can get things going once again tonight in Chicago.
Turn it around. Right now, this is the day. You lose game 1 of the series, you win today, and you have a possibility to win the series. Focus on today, play good baseball.
Execute. That is the key. Execute on offense, on defense, and if you're on the mound, make sure you execute the pitches. White Sox have a pretty good lineup. Hopefully, Tony the Tiger pitches great.
That's it? Just great?
I'm a little calm reserve.
All right, we'll save it for the postgame show. Get ready for some herky-jerky shenanigans tonight because Johnny Cueto is now a White Sox, and he's starting against the Dodgers. Dave Roberts going with Mookie, Freddie, and Trey at the top. Will Smith will do the catching again and bat cleanup. Justin Turner is hitting third. Cody Bellinger is playing center field. Chris Taylor in left. Eddie Alvarez will be the DH. Gavin Lux batting ninth. Nomar, what sticks out to you?
Sticks out to me is the top of this lineup. After you get blanked, the day before, what really just kind of changes the emotion and feeling is if you score right away. If they can score that first inning, especially those guys at the top of the lineup we know are capable of doing that, it'd be nice to see.
I'm looking at 2 guys, Will Smith, Cody Bellinger. I'm going to do my little Dusty Baker impression. Need you, Playboy. Need you. Need you, Playboy. Come on, we need you. Will Smith, Cody Bellinger, we need you to be productive. 2 talented of guys.
We need all those guys to get going tonight because the Dodgers, they were shut out 4-0 last night. They were also shut out by the Nationals 1-0 on the last road trip. They responded by scoring 14 runs the next night, Jerry. So what is the mindset or the approach after getting shut out?
Well, first and foremost, you're not going to face that guy from last night. Michael Kopech was outstanding. Cueto doesn't have that type of velocity anymore, so make sure you stay on the ball. You talked about the shenanigans. Make sure you think the other way, hit the off speed. You can pull it, but fastball, go the other way, stay on that pitch. And again, execute offensively, you will score runs.
Yeah, the execution with regards to situational hitting, because when those present yourself, it's not a matter of, you know that you haven't scored. You know that you guys are maybe not winning as much as you're capable of doing. So you try to do too much, and that is one thing you can't do. It's just really about, okay, there's men maybe in second base less than 2 outs. Do I just find a way to at least get them over? You still try to knock them in, but at least, at the very least, even a productive out to move them over, and then, get coming up with those clutch hits.
I had an old hitting coach, Rudy Jaramillo. If we had a guy, we faced, let's say, Doc Holliday, right? Thunder. Hey, I'll give you one. Tip your hat. The next guy, the next night, has to pay. Kopech was outstanding last night. Nasty stuff. Cueto got to pay tonight. I'm sorry. Got to get Cueto.
Well, like I said, last time they put 14 runs up the second game after being shut out the night before. Last night, Mitch White was terrific in a spot start situation, filling in for Clayton Kershaw, who is expected to be back this weekend. Kirsten Watson is with the Dodgers in Chicago. She joins us now live with the latest on Kershaw. Hi, Kirsten.
Hey, John, and yes, Clayton Kershaw, as well as Walker Buehler, they threw some pretty lengthy bullpens today. Dave Roberts, though, he talked about Clayton's in specific and gave us more of a confirmation on that timeline as to when we will see the next Kershaw day.
It was 40-something pitches. It was a lengthy pen given the time he has in between starts. So the Sunday start with what he did, it was really good, kind of cleaning up. Just not really cleaning up, just feeling out all of his pitches, and I thought it was a great pen.
After this pen, does it feel like Sunday can feel official at this point, or do you still want to wait until you have more information with how he bounces back tomorrow?
I think given how he threw the pen and assuming he comes out of it well, Sunday should be official, yeah.
And you were worried
Urias in front of that?
Yep. That's right. Buehler Friday, then Urias Saturday, then Clayton on Sunday.
When you're facing a team with the White Sox today and a pitcher they have on the mound, in which is a slider-heavy throwing pitcher, and just knowing the success that this team has against that specific pitch, is that something that makes you all optimistic when the offense is kind of going through these up and downs?
I think with Cueto, the good thing is that there's familiarity. The tricky part with Johnny is out of the windup, he's a pitcher, and he can offset timing. He's very good at that. So the key to him is getting guys on base. So whether you have to find a way to get a bunt hit, take a walk, get a base hit, whatever you can do to get him in the stretch increases our chance to score. So that's the key. So yeah, given the slider, the changeup, the fastball, it's not going to be plus velocity. But the point for Johnny is that he has a way to kind of offset hitting timing. And so we've got to get guys on base.
Well, you heard it from Dave Roberts. Clayton Kershaw's bullpen today was another really strong one. So now he's got the rehab assignment. We've got some more players coming through, but after the rehab assignment, today's bullpen session, things are really looking in the right direction for him to get that start on Sunday. So you heard what the rotation is going to look like in San Francisco. We've got, of course, Walker Buehler, Julio Urias, and then Clayton Kershaw. So yeah, today hopefully Tony Gonsolin will set the tone on the mound, and the offense will get things going against a slider-heavy pitcher tonight, guys.
All right, let's hope so. Get that offense going. Kirsten, thank you very much. Still ahead, Tony Gonsolin looks to join his teammate Tyler Anderson as the major's only two pitchers with a 7-0 record. Game time a little over 20 minutes away. We'll check in with Joe Davis and Eric Karros for a game preview. That's next. Plus, Yency Almonte, a bright spot on an otherwise tough night for the Dodgers bullpen, tossing a scoreless inning. Up next, he's talking one-on-one with Kirsten. Wrap up their series with the White Sox in Chicago tomorrow, an 11 a.m. first pitch. Then it's off to San Francisco for the first time this year. Saturday's game will be on Fox. And then next Tuesday, the Angels will be at the Ravine for a mini two-game series. The Dodgers trying to avoid losing 4 straight for the second time this year, while the White Sox trying to win 4 straight for the first time in more than a month. Let's say hello right now to Joe Davis and Eric Karros. They will have the call, but first they're joining us live from the booth with a preview. Hi there, Joe.
Hi, John. And remember, the Dodgers last week got swept in a 3-game series by the Pirates. You knew you had Tony Gonsolin taking the ball in the first game against the Mets. That felt like a good thing. He fired 6 shutout innings and 1, and he again feels like the guy you want on the mound tonight.
Well, he's the right guy in the right spot, and he's had 4 games where he's gone 6 innings or more. Going to throw that splitter. He's going to throw that slider, and really, he has been the go-to guy. Even with him throwing, we're still going to have to score runs. We're going to have to get that offense going.
Trying to do it against a very familiar foe, and Johnny Cueto signed a minor league contract with the White Sox, came up in mid-May, and everybody says he looks just like he always has.
Right, it's almost going to be like you're playing wiffle ball out in your backyard. He's going to stop in the middle of that windup. He's going to be up on top. He's going to be on the side. He's going to throw that slider, that sinker. Really, it's going to be, you're watching somebody out in the backwood playing in the playground, and he's just going to make things up.
All right, so Johnny Cueto for the White Sox, Tony Gonsolin for the Dodgers, the middle game of this 3-game series coming right up, guys.
All right, sounds like a fun matchup. Joe and EK, thank you. Tony Gonsolin, 6-0 this season, coming off his best start of the year as well. He shut out the high-powered Mets for 6 innings, allowed just 2 hits. Nomar, he struck out 5. What was working for him and what was his latest gem of the season?
Well, he didn't just make things up, that's for sure. He went out there and he attacked with his stuff. And Jerry and I always talk about what makes him so successful, or the keys to his success is pitching down in the zone. And in his last outing, we were looking at the K-zone, how he was down in the zone with his pitches. His pitches have a lot of movement. His slider, his split finger have so much movement and even more movement when they are down in the zone. So we draw the line there. There's off-speed pitch down in the zone. Nice little slider. Here comes that slider right there to get that swing and miss. And man, that split finger, when it's on, the bottom just falls right out of it. It drops, and you as a hitter are going, you can't, it starts off as a strike, and you're not sure if it's going to drop that much or no out of the zone. He induces weak contact, but also the key for these sliders and for the split finger to be effective is also the fastball command, because when you know he can also throw a fastball for a strike down in the zone, that's what also sets that up. So if he's able to hit that there, you know, he'll occasionally show the fastball up just to change your eye level, but then back down, really effective.
He has been so good, and you're right, Nose. him pitching down in the zone at the knees with that fastball, then using that split finger fastball like a changeup, and the barrel just drops out of the zone. Outstanding pitch. And that's why you see guys like Pete Alonso and those really established hitters chase the swing, because it looks just like a fastball to the hitter. Outstanding pitch, and the slider go as well. He's right now the best pitcher in the National League, guys.
How about that?
Tony the Tiger. Outstanding.
All-star starter. Who knows at Dodger Stadium? We'll see in, another few weeks? Well, last year he had an ERA of 7.5 for the Rock Show. This year, Yency Almonte has become a force in the Dodgers bullpen, an ERA of 1.38. Today, he's our Dodgers voice, brought to you by Morongo Casino Resort and Spa.
I'm here with Yency Almonte. And Yency, we are in the Windy City, Chicago, and it has truly shown us all of its weather elements. So first, how have you been able to enjoy the Windy City, you and your way?
Well, first of all, it's cold. I knew that was going to happen. So yesterday kind of caught me off guard, warming up in the bullpen before we went to the game. And then today, a little bit of rain. Now it's sunny, so I don't know what to expect next.
So you mentioned just preparing last night. We didn't have the rain element, but it was a bit chilly. What is the focus for you as you're getting prepared to go onto the mound?
Just trying to be able to throw my pitches away I want to throw them and have that grip that I want, because sometimes I feel that when it's cold, especially coming from Denver where it was really cold, the ball was kind of slip on my fingers. So just trying to have that grip was my main thing.
You mentioned that you're kind of working on a few things at the moment. Can you just describe what that has been and what that is looking like as you're trying to really, I don't think perfect is the right word, because I know in this sport you're constantly working on things, but getting your pitches where you want them to be?
Yeah, I think my biggest thing is trying to be consistent every time out, and I think sometimes I've shown so far this year that I'll have my slider be really good or really bad. And I'm just trying to find that consistent spin, that consistent shape that I can continue to have and just throw whenever I want.
It's interesting, as you say, really good or really bad, and I feel like all of us that have been watching have seen some really good outings from you. What has it been like with your time with the Dodgers?
I mean, first of all, I love it here. That's my main thing, just the atmosphere I'm in, the guys I'm around, the coaching staff from the bottom up. It's everything you can ask from a team, and the way they help me out to go out every day and be consistent is what I'm here for.
When you look at the bullpen, and obviously it's had some of its ups and downs a little bit recently, what do you see from your teammates in there and how they're, attacking hitters on the mound?
I think what people don't see is behind the scenes, and everyone's just confident, and no matter what happens, whether it's a good game or a bad day, they're ready to show up the next day, ready to perform.
Last night, the White Sox were able to get the best of you guys, but today, how do you just kind of reset and prepare for a potential outing in this game?
Just go out there and throw strike one. That's the biggest thing. You don't want to fall behind the count, especially with these guys. They can do some damage. So I think you can go ahead and get out and get strike one, have the ball rolling on your side.
All right, well, hopefully back in the win column today. Thank you so much. I appreciate you.
Thank you.
Festive night on the South Side, Jerry. The White Sox celebrating Polish Heritage Night. Did you know that with 1.9 million people of Polish descent, the city of Chicago bills itself as the largest Polish population outside of Poland?
Absolutely. I'm sure Lashinsky's there.
I knew that, John.
Yep. Plus, Justin Turner has hit some monstrous postseason homers since joining the Dodgers, and last night collected his 1,000th career hit in Dodger blue. Up next, the 10 best moments of JT as a Dodger. Underway, let's make sure the boys in blue are well represented at this year's game at Dodger Stadium. Cast your vote at Dodgers.com/vote. Phase 1 of voting currently underway, and it will run through the end of this month, June 30th. This year's campaign, it's easy to remember. It's Vote Dodgers, Vote Daily, Vote Today. So go to Dodgers.com/votes. Get your boys in blue to that All-Star game July 19th at Dodger Stadium. A bit of history for Justin Turner last night. His 7th inning single was his 1,000th career hit with the Dodgers, becoming the 35th player all-time to record 1,000 hits with the organization. JT reached the milestone in 998 career games. Not bad for a guy who was released by the Mets in 2014 and invited to Dodgers spring training on a minor league contract. JT posted this to Instagram, celebrating the moment, as well as his dog, saying 1,000 hits as a Dodger is pretty freaking cool. The dogs stay home, but still watch every game. Those are his pups, Moonshine and Rigby. All right, with that, let's celebrate the best of Justin Turner's career as a Dodger. Number 10, May 7th, 2019 against the Braves. Jerry, not one, not two, a 3-homer game against Atlanta.
You love seeing that against the Bravos. See Freddie Freeman in your picture with his head down, knowing that ball is leaving the yard. Look at the swing. Poetic swing, one of the best right-handed swings you've ever seen. Love when he is on. Special night for the Red Dream.
Number 9th, April 14th, last year against the Rockies. Uh-oh. He's got a different kind of splash at this time. It goes into a fan's nachos. He's got nacho chips in his eyes. Nomar.
I mean, he's very thoughtful as far as giving a fan a souvenir, as far as making the mess, you know. Listen, he was just trying to dip the baseball in the little nacho cheese. He heard about the Dodger nachos, heard they were very good, and that picture is priceless.
I mean, look
Hola
at
con queso.
Every time I see that, and he's like, oh, look it, I got the ball and I got the nachos.
And JT even bought him a new sweatshirt.
Oh, that was thoughtful.
For having cheese.
I mean, that doesn't
splashed all
surprise
over
me.
him. Very cool. Number 8, the 2015 NLDS against the Mets. His breakout performance against the team that non-tendered him. All he did was hit .526. He went 10 for 19. 4 RBIs in the 5-game series and had 6 doubles.
Complete player clutch in the batter's box. Outstanding defensively. Him going the other way, picking up huge RBIs. Again, in the clutch, Justin Turner does not get any better. The dream.
Number 7, July 26th against the Twins.
The Dodgers have done it again! Beyond belief! Justin Turner, the game-winning RBI single.
That was 2017, a walk-off. Put the Dodgers 40 games over 500 on the season.
We've seen him time and time again come up clutch for the Dodgers.
We've also seen him time and time again with some great defensive work as well. Here he is at number 6, making all kinds of nice plays at third base and shortstop.
Yeah, the shortstop. Look at the Red Dream right there in Milwaukee, diving here at third base. Outstanding range at second base. When he came over, he was a utility player, made himself into a star third baseman, showing off the range right there, knowing power gets down the line. I'm going to use my range and my athleticism to get it on over there to our first baseman. Looking like Russell Wilson over there in Denver, throwing absolute seed over there across the diamond. Get over there, Gonzo right there, who's now our colleague, by the way. But the Red Dream, great range, great hands, great hair. He has everything.
You know, oftentimes we always say, you know, he'd be winning Gold Gloves. There was a guy for so long in National League been winning them over, Nolan Arenado, and I was like, there are times I'm like, wait, don't forget about JT over there at third base.
Number 5, 2018, NLCS Game 2. Remember when he got lucky against Jeremy Jeffress? At least that's what Jeremy Jeffress said.
Well, he saw that pretty good, saw that one pretty good, laid off that one, like, just come into my zone, thank you. Just waiting for it. I was just waiting for you to come into my happy place, and he deposited that over there in the left field wall. You know, was trying to get it, hit it by the slide, so you can just slide down. I'm surprised Brewer didn't slide down the slide after that.
He should have. That was a game, really game-winning homer.
Trying to give
in the 8th inning.
Yeah, it was very.
Yeah, I played golf with Jeffress in the offseason. He was
remind him of that.
Oh, I do every once in a while.
Number 4, April 29th, 2017, against the Phillies.
Swing and a drive! Absolute madness!
3 straight homers for the Dodgers in that great 9th inning comeback, capped by JT.
Love the call there by Joe Davis. Outstanding call. And then everybody going nuts. JT, selfie.
Number 3, the 2020 postseason, etching his name in the Dodgers record books. He would become the all-time leader in both hits and also home runs. He's also the all-time leader in games, RBIs, runs, and total bases in the playoffs in Dodgers history.
You know, that tells you the type of career he's had in that Dodger uniform, what the Dodgers have been able to do over his tenure here, getting in the postseason, and then him coming through, like always. I mean, he knew this is home. He's found a home in that uniform, and boy, he has done great.
Certainly has. That same 2020 postseason NLCS Game 7. What a huge play defensively this is. Jared, we're going to see JT do his best Superman impression and also turn this into a double play.
Incredible throw there to home. And then the presence of mind to tag Swanson there and see the runner right over his left shoulder, throw a seed there to Corey Seager. Double play, great instincts, great hands. He has everything. Again, Justin Turner always said, you don't make that play unless you think ahead. Here, as he's diving, trying to get Swanson's buttocks, but is able to hit him on the ankle, knowing, you know what, the runner behind me is going to try to advance as well. I'm going to throw him out at third base. Great job, Justin Turner.
Helped them win a World Series that year. That was Game 7 of the NLCS. Number 1, though, JT's iconic moment 29 years to the day after Gibby's walk-off homer in the World Series.
With a fly ball to center field. It's way back at the wall. A 3-run walk-off home run for Justin Turner. The Dodgers are up 2 games to none, and they are going crazy. Turner just arriving at home plate, now being mobbed by his mates. Of this, dreams are made.
Game 2 of that 2017 NLCS, a walk-off bomb to beat the Cubbies. Been a great ride in Dodger blue, and there he is. He'll be batting 5th, starting at third base tonight for the Dodgers as they take on the Chicago White Sox in just a few minutes. Nomar and Jerry will be calling their shot next. The Windy City, the Dodgers have lost 3 in a row, 6 of their last 8. Doc is still in a good mood, trying to get the guys back in the win column tonight in the middle game of this 3-game series. All right, Jerry, it is time to call your shots. You've been struggling. You need to break out of a slump as well. This would be a good night to do it.
You know what? I'm going to do it, John. I have all the confidence in the world in this young man. Johnny Cueto is a low ball pitcher. Freddie Freeman, low ball hitter. He breaks out in a big way tonight.
It's a good call. I like that. I'm also calling a low ball hitter today, and I think Cody Bellinger goes deep tonight. That's what I'm calling.
Tell you what, if both of our guys hit, Johnny does push-ups post-game.
I like it.
Both good games.
Push-ups.
Johnny positive.
You still owe us push-ups when you guaranteed a victory that one night at Dodger Stadium, and they lost.
I don't recall that, John. I misremember.
We have videotape.
I
misremember. Want us to show it?
Misremember.
I thought they burned after a couple days.
They should have burned that one because that was a pretty bad one for you. All right, Dodgers trying to bounce back tonight in Chicago. Joe Davis, Eric Karros have the call. We'll see you right here after the game. Take it away, Joe.
All right, John, on what has been a very rainy afternoon here in Chicago. It's cleared up, though, and we're ready to roll. Middle game of this 3-game series, the Dodgers and the Chicago White Sox, with the temperature dipping down into the high 50s. Still a little bit of a chance of rain, but it poured this afternoon. No batting practice. Tarp is on the field. Cleared that off, and the rain for the moment is out of the area, and we get ready to play game 2. Welcome inside. Hope you're having a great day. Joe Davis, Eric Karros, Kirsten Watson joins us in a moment. The losing streak last night hit 3 as they were shut out 4-0, and kind of a continuation of a trend, EK, in that they had some traffic. They just haven't been able to get guys in lately.
Right, it has been a trend, and last night they had 5 hits, 0 for 7 with runners in scoring position, but that's something that they've continued to do over the last few ball games, and it's something that over the course of the season, you're going to have your ebbs and flows. You're going to have stretches where you're going to hit really well with runners in scoring position. Right now, we're not there. 171 batting average. You see 14 for the last 82. It also becomes something where you start pressing when you're up at the plate because you know you're struggling. Hopefully now they get things going tonight.
Well, they had that 3-game sweep at the hands of the Pirates last week, and then Tony Gonsolin came and saved the day. They're hoping that he does the same here. He brings in the #1 ERA in the National League, the #1 average against in the National League.
Well, he really has stepped up, especially with some of the other guys not having the season that they would have liked. Gonsolin has been really the best pitcher in the National League for me. He's been throwing that splitter, that slider. He's come up big. Those last 4 starts, he's thrown at least 6 innings. They're hoping he does that tonight.
He'll face off with the veteran Johnny Cueto. Makes his 25th career start against the Dodgers. For more on Gonsolin, though, here's Kirsten.
Well, guys, today phase 1 of All-Star voting begins. So, of course, I had to ask Dave Roberts, does he see Tony Gonsolin as an All-Star this year? And he said, if you look at the strikeout-to-walk ratio, you mentioned it, he has the best ERA in the National League. There are a lot of signs pointing as to why he does deserve to be an All-Star. Dave Roberts said for him, it's a no-brainer, and he has shown everything impossible to put his name in that conversation, guys.
Yeah, from winning the 5th starter job to potentially headed to his first All-Star game, and he tries to add on to that All-Star resume facing the White Sox tonight. It's game 2 of this 3-game series, and it's coming up on Sportsnet LA.
Johnny Johnny Cueto, the former Giant, Jerry, that means we're going to see a lot of hesitation, the shake and shimmy thing going on. But Adrian Gonzalez said you get him in the stretch, he could be good hitting.
Absolutely. You know, he likes to shimmy, throw off your timing a little bit, but get this guy in the stretch. He likes to hang the cambio when he's in the stretch, so sit soft when there's runners on base.
Yeah, and the other thing is all that is it's not like he's lighting up the gun too, so it's not like you have to really anticipate. You can wait till you see that ball and then go out there and drive.
There's a reason why he does the shimmy, John. He does all those antics. He doesn't throw 98 anymore. He doesn't throw 98 anymore.
All right, well, Tony Gonsolin going up against Johnny Cueto tonight. Dodgers looking for a win.
Beyond Raptor at Carl's Jr. Feed your happy. And by Nissan. Choose Nissan today for great offers on our most exciting lineup ever. Shop NissanUSA.com. Back in Chicago, where it's in the high 50s tonight. Pretty comfortable though. Light breeze. After a very rainy afternoon, it's cleared up, and Johnny Cueto is ready to take the ball for his 5th start in a White Sox uniform. The lineup that'll face off with here in the middle game of this 3-game series looks like this, with Mookie Betts leading off and starting in right field. And then, as they've done in every game this season, Freddie Freeman and Trey Turner, 2 and 3, first and short. Will Smith, the catcher, out of the cleanup spot. Justin Turner got his 1,000th hit in a Dodger uniform last night. Cody Bellinger's in center field hitting 6th, with Chris Taylor in left. Eddie Alvarez DHing, and Gavin Lux, who reached twice in last night's game, hitting 9th and playing 2nd. Johnny Cueto now 36 years old. He signed a minor league deal with the White Sox early on this spring, and they built him up in AAA. He was totally on board with that. Called him up in mid-May, and he's gone 6+ innings in all 4 starts.
He's really thrown well for the White Sox this year, and he's the same old Johnny Cueto that we've known all those years, especially in San Francisco. The pitch arsenal, I mean, I don't even know if we have enough room. You got the sinker, the slider, the changeup, the cutter, the four-seam, the curveball. You see that slider, though, it's been getting beat around a little bit. The thing about it, even with all these pitches, you're going to see variations in the windup, where the release point is. It's really actually entertaining to watch him pitch.
It's really fun. It is really fun to watch him in his 15th season. 8 years with the Cincinnati Reds. Remember, he got traded to the Kansas City Royals, helped them win the World Championship in 2015. And then 6 years in San Francisco. Sure did fly by. Started the All-Star game his first year there, 2016. Never really was quite that pitcher again, though. Had Tommy John surgery, missed a couple of seasons, struggled the last 2 years. The resurfaces here on the south side of Chicago. And now gets ready to face the Dodgers for the 25th time in his great big league career. Betts stands in, and off we go with a fastball strike.
Fastball strike, and I think that was a quick pitch too, right? I mean, right out of the chute.
Game. And a little hesitation and a shake and a ball, and it's 1-1. And in an era where everybody's throwing hard, this guy doesn't throw that hard, although he will turn it up and hit 94, 95 when he feels like he really has to. It is all about the art of pitching.
And when you say not really hard, absolutely on the radar gun, but up at the plate, seems like 1,000 miles an hour after something real slow.
Especially when he's toying around with your timing the whole time. Betts hits a towering pop fly down the left field line. A.J. Pollock is going to have room. Thing hung up in the air forever and came down. What do they say, was off the net?
But that counts. So and it looked like that thing came off the side of the net. I mean, did they? Let's see what that
wouldn't
there.
count.
It wouldn't count. No, it
No.
should be out. That thing looked like that came off the side of the net. Obviously, it didn't. He gets over there. Oh, his hands hits the nets. That's what caused the movement. Yeah.
All right, so just a simple fly out to left to open the game. And one away for Freddie Freeman. Cueto misses inside, ball 1. Time for the Charmin Ultra Strong stat. This trend held last night as Freeman went 0 for 4. 370 in the wins with an OPS above 1,000. 143 in the losses. And just one of his 30 RBIs have come in those losses. And a 1-1 from the always quick-working Johnny Cueto. He takes high, ball 2. Top 3 of the Dodger order has been as good as any top 3 in baseball. Bottom third's been good as well. Heart of the order hadn't done a whole lot compared to the rest of the league. And so they've relied on Betts and Freeman and Turner to be at their best selves to win games. Sitting pretty here, waiting on a 3-1. That is pulled foul, and the count is full. Dodgers shut out for just the second time this year last night. And we talked about it off at the top, but they had some chances, but went 0 for 7 with runners in scoring position.
Just couldn't cash in, but you have to acknowledge they ran into Michael Kopech.
Oh.
And that guy, he's as good a pitcher as we've seen this year.
Cueto shakes a couple times. A lot of the Dodger hitters were talking about that. Like, wow, there was an extra gear on everything that he was throwing last night. The data showed that the pitch was getting more movement than it has all year, but then also just the guys, before they saw any data, turning around, walking back to the dugout saying, oh, okay, that's different.
Yeah, you're right on. I talked to some of the guys this afternoon. They talked about the vertical movement, that it reminded them of the sticky times.
Change up gets Freeman swinging, 2 out. Sticky times.
Well, that's just a few years ago. But here's a change up, and we talk about what is pitching, just disrupting the hitter's timing. Saw Freddie way out in front of that.
2 gone in this first inning for Trey Turner. He was on base twice last night. Has a hit in 28 of his last 29 games. First one from Johnny Cueto is in there for a strike. Also stole a base, his 12th of the season, top 5 in the league. Cueto comes home. A pop fly, short center. Out goes Garcia. It's going to drop in. Robert was playing pretty deep. Garcia couldn't get there. Robert couldn't get there, and it's a 2-out base hit for Trey Turner.
It's a good pitch by Cueto. Turner just fights this thing off, finds some real estate out there in the outfield. And this is a guy right now for me that needs to have production. I mean, he's been hitting the ball well, but need to see some results.
Yeah, Smith 3 for his last 33. After 1 for 4 night last night. That ball's hit well to deep left field. How is that, Eric Karros, for him hitting the ball well? A 2-run home run for Will Smith. And the Dodgers have their first runs of this series.
Asking you shall receive. He gets a fastball just down the middle part of the plate. Will Smith absolutely crushes this thing. Is it that simple? I just have to say I need to see some production here. This is the guy.
Third home run for Smith over his last 9 games. And now ball on Justin Turner. Well, the Dodgers last night had 5 hits, but they were all singles. It was just the second time this year that they won a game without an extra base hit. They get one in the first inning against Cueto. It's a Will Smith home run. It's 2-0 on Turner. He falls behind 3 balls, no strikes. These two guys have faced off with each other many times through the years. Turner's gotten the better of him, hitting .375 with a couple home runs against Cueto. A couple home runs, bunch of doubles. Green light on the 3-0, and it's tapped foul, 3-1. The Miller Lite moment looks back at last night when Justin Turner picked up his 1,000th hit in a Dodger uniform. Almost took Reynaldo Lopez's glove with it.
Quite a career for the Dodgers, really has.
Turner lifts one the other way for Gavin Sheets, and that'll wrap up the top of the first inning. But the Dodgers get on the board first on a home run from Will Smith. They give Tony Gonsolin a 2-0 lead as the National League's best so far in 2022 takes it when you come back. Here's the starting 9 for the White Sox. Leury Garcia leads it off for Tony La Russa. Then Luis Robert, Yoan Moncada, Jose Abreu, the old MVP, is the first baseman and cleanup man. Former Dodger Yasmani Grandal, another former Dodger down there in A.J. Pollock. After Berger and Sheets, and ahead of Danny Mendick. The Indeed Player Resume takes a look at Tony Gonsolin, who leads the National League with a 1.59 ERA. And over the course of his career, and this is stacking up to be pretty darn impressive. 16-5 with a 2.51. Only Jacob deGrom has a better ERA with a minimum of 30 starts in that time. Garcia pops up the first pitch of the night. There's Will Smith to put it away. Yeah, there's a little snapshot of one of the things that has gotten so much better about Gonsolin, and that is become so much more efficient.
Well, he hits the strike zone, pounds the strike zone, and you can see what he's doing it with. The four-seamer, that splitter and slider combination have been devastating. Curveball as well. He's been able to throw that curveball for strikes, steal strikes early in the count. You see him go with that fastball. Look for that splitter and slider all night long.
He's on pace for a 27-pitch perfect game.
There you go, right?
Here's Luis Robert. Starts in with a fastball. For strike one. Very talented 24-year-old outfielder from Cuba. Gonsolin facing the White Sox for the first time in his big league career. There is the slider, and it's quickly 0-2. Opponents are 2 for 43 against that pitch. He's gone from being a guy with a really good splitter and a fastball that was really good some nights to adding the slider to it. You talked about adding the curveball to the whole equation. He is a true 4-pitch pitcher right now, throwing that fastball just enough. Everything else, the league's hitting below 100 against.
Well, and what makes it so productive is he's throwing pitches for strikes. He's not falling behind. Better location this year than last.
His 1-2 is a splitter that's wrapped on the ground to short for Trey Turner, and a couple quick outs for Tony Gonsolin. If Dodger pitchers strike out 10, everybody gets a free Jumbo Jack tomorrow at Jack in the Box with the purchase of a large drink at LA area restaurants. He's not necessarily getting more strikeouts than he's used to getting. In fact, there's been more contact. It's just been the worst contact in baseball.
And that's the thing is people like the strikeouts. It's good for the ego, but he's been much more efficient this year. And it's because he's been healthier. That's just the reality of it.
2 gone first inning. Yoan Moncada up into the 3 spot tonight. Takes a ball. He was sold all last year, but the shoulder injury, missed the first 2 months. Never really was quite right. Missed a month late too. And still had a 3.23 ERA over 15 games. That's a strike, and it's 1-1. With each time he takes it, puts up 5 or 6 more zeros. Just a little more evidence that it's real. And his last start is good of a display of that as anything. 6 shutout innings against one of the top offenses in baseball in the New York Mets. On the ground to second, there's Gavin Lux, and there's a 1-2-3 first inning on 9 pitches. Trip for the Dodgers into Chicago this season. Remember, they played the Cubs about a month ago. 3-game series with the White Sox, and their first visit here to the South Side since 2017. Johnny Cueto to Cody Bellinger. Changeup fades off the end of the bat and becomes a souvenir for strike 1. Bellinger 0 for 3, struck out twice in the first game last night. 2 for his last 23 overall. One. This is Nomar's pick to click.
Nomar went out on a limb. He went with Cody, huh?
Yeah. High drive down the line towards the corner. Cody Bellinger makes Nomar look right. Boy, both you guys calling your shots tonight. First it was EK calling the Will Smith home run, and now Nomar picks Bellinger, and he goes deep.
Try and go inside. It leaks out over the plate. Again, it's up in the zone, but it's not a velocity that Cody can't catch up to. Nice smooth swing, drives this in. I mean, that feels great for Cody. That just, he can breathe.
7th one of the year for Cody Bellinger. 2nd one of the night for the Dodgers after they didn't have an extra base hit yesterday. Didn't score a run. So they lead Cueto and the White Sox 3-0. Chris Taylor watches the slider catch the corner, quickly 0-2. The Dodgers have dropped 6 of their last 8 games. 35-20 overall. Lead the Padres by a game and a half in the division. Padres wrap up a series with the New York Mets tonight. Team split the first 2 games. White Sox, after losing 4 in a row, trying to win their 4th straight. And pitching has been the biggest reason for this little 3-game winning streak. They've given up just 7 runs over the last 3 games. Fouled off, we'll do it again. I don't even know what you call that one.
I mean, there were a couple of iterations there in that windup.
How do you do that and then still throw it 91 miles an hour?
Well, just to keep your balance,
Yeah.
right? To just not, I'm going to stop, I'm going to shake a little bit, and then I'm going to get, let's go. Stop. Oh, wait. I mean, seriously, you got to be some sort of athlete to do that. I mean, you may think it's a joke just watching this.
Strike 1 on Eddie Alvarez.
Oh.
As home plate umpire Jerry Meals goes off in the corner for that. Well, they talk about that with Johnny Cueto, that he's a way better athlete than you think. He's not big and muscular, but he is really, really great when it comes to body control.
Exactly. Yep.
And he's in really good shape. He's a throwback pitcher in that he still goes on long runs between each one of his starts. You know, he spends 45 minutes running the grandstand. And he said, look, it's my job to get deep into games. Best way I know how to do that is to stay in shape by running long distance, running stairs. 2-2 on Alvarez. And why change at this point? In his 15th year of an all-star career, 36 years old and still going. Is 2-2. Tapped along first for Abreu. 2 out.
I did think it would make some sense him starting in between Michael Kopech, hard thrower, Dylan Cease tomorrow, another hard thrower. I think Tony La Russa was just kind of hoping that this would throw off the Dodger hitters, but so far early on, not fooling at least Will Smith or Cody.
Smith in the first inning, Bellinger here in the second. And with the bases empty and 2 gone, here comes Gavin Lux. Lux reached twice last night out of the 9 spot. Had a base hit, had a walk. We're talking about the bottom of the order. Doing pretty well big picture this year. He's been the most consistent component down in the 9 spot for him. And he scored a bunch of runs because he's getting on enough, and pretty much any time he does, he's coming in. Guys that follow him. On a 1-1 from Cueto, Lux checks his swing and fouls it off.
It's one of the things of hitting at the bottom of the lineup. Historically, you're hitting 8th. They got the pitcher up next, and you're not getting anything to hit. But when you're hitting 8 and 9 this year, you're getting protected by Mookie Betts and Freddie Freeman. I mean, the 9th spot, it's an ideal spot to hit in this Dodger lineup.
Cueto's 2-2 is high on Lux to run the count full. Johnny didn't give up a run in his first 2 starts in a White Sox uniform. Shows up, they're in Kansas City. He strikes out the side in his very first inning in a White Sox uniform. Back-to-back scoreless outings. But he's given up 11 runs now in his last 2+ games. He strikes Lux out looking to finish off this second. But 2 innings and 2 home runs for the Dodgers. Will Smith in the first. Knocked out his 7th of the year. Then Cody Bellinger here in the second did the same, and it's 3-0. 3 first inning, and now faces Jose Abreu as we go to the bottom of the second. Fastball is in there, strike 1. On Abreu, who last few weeks has been doing Jose Abreu-like things. He's hitting .371 over his last 19 games, and again driving in a bunch of runs. Somebody who's knocked in 100 in 7 of his 8 full years in the majors. MVP in 2020. 30 home runs, 117 batted in last year. He's just one of those guys, you see a bad month, even though he's 35 and getting towards the later part of his career, you know he's going to come around and hit. Does here sharply on a bounce to Justin Turner. 4 up, 4 down for Tony Gonsolin.
The 2022 Chevrolet MLB All-Star Ballot is now open. Vote daily at MLB.com/vote to send your favorite Dodgers players to the All-Star game at Dodger Stadium. Man, get out there, fans. Want to see all blue out there, huh?
That'll be sweet. Dave Roberts was telling Kirsten Watson before the game, thinks the guy on the mound is an all-star, and you don't have to dig very deep under the stat sheet to find reason why. Man at the plate has been an all-star twice. That's former Dodger Yasmani Grandal, who last year had the 3rd best OPS in the American League. This year he's got the worst OPS in the American League. And he started to lose playing time. We saw Reese McGuire start last night, get another big hit for the White Sox. Grandal not playing quite as much. But not just the worst OPS, but the worst average in the AL. Fouls this one off, and it's 1-2.
When you're in a situation like that, you can't try and salvage your season. It's what you've got to do is just the next at bat. I'm trying to get it. You can't worry about what's gone on up to this point because it'll just swallow you. I mean, you see that swing right there. It looked like that thing was like he was swinging underwater. It just, so many things going on through your head when you're not. Look at that. I mean, that's a helpless feeling when you're up at the plate.
Gonsolin finishes him off with a fastball. First strikeout of the game for Gonsolin. 2 gone in the second.
I mean, after that swing, Gonsolin goes way out of the zone with that four-seamer. And I mean, you could just tell it. Grandal right now is, I mean, it really is. When you're up at the plate and you're swinging like that, you've got nothing going on physically, mentally, you're a mess. It is not a good time.
Dodger fans have seen, though, how quickly he can snap out of it and carry you. A little bit high, ball one on Jake Burger. It's been one of their best hitters lately. Doubled and knocked in a run last night. Last 10 games, he's got 7 extra base hits, and he's driven in 11 in those 10 games. That is through, and the first base runner for Chicago. 2-out single for Jake Burger.
Burger gets a slider. That thing just kind of sits up in the zone.
Did you do that on purpose? Burger got a slider. Burger, slider.
Glad you picked that up.
Yeah. Yes, you did?
But no, I didn't.
Okay.
I didn't do that on purpose. I'm still sitting around here basking in the Will Smith thing.
You can ride that one for a while. White Sox trying to put it together with 2 outs like they did in the 6th inning last night. They got all 4 of the game's runs. That's lifted to center field, but this time it takes just 1 pitch for Tony Gonsolin to end the inning. 3-0 Dodgers after 2 in Chicago.
Dodgers presented by Cadillac. Follow former Dodger infielder Eric Karros as he prepares for a broadcast at Dodger Stadium. Don't miss Backstage Dodgers presented by Cadillac this Friday after the postgame show.
All right, Kirsten. You don't want to read that one yourself? That would have been.
I can't wait to watch it, right?
Mookie Betts bounces the first pitch of the inning to the shortstop, Danny Mendick. 1 pitch, 1 out for Johnny Cueto. They sure do a great job. Backstage Dodgers, that whole crew.
Yep.
Still 1 gone in this 3rd inning. Dodgers have a 3-0 lead, already getting 2 home runs. Will Smith in the 1st inning, Cody Bellinger in the 2nd. And Freddie Freeman to the plate here. Johnny Cueto struck him out his first time. Righty out of the Dominican comes home and misses with his first pitch. Typical day at home in the Dominican Republic with Johnny Cueto in the winter if you were to go there. He would offer you a horse to ride around his ranch. You got to give the horse back, but for the day you can take a ride on the horse with him, go tend to the chickens and the goats and the cows, and then dinner time would roll around. He'd fire up the grill right next to the pool, and then he'd pull up an ambulance, and you'd say, what in the world is there an ambulance doing by the pool at this barbecue? He'd hit a button, the top would open up, giant wall of speakers would pop out of the ambulance. He'd hit another button, the back of the ambulance would fly open, 20 more speakers would pop out. He gets Freddie Freeman here, 2 gone in the 3rd, and then he'd hit play, and that ambulance would bump music so loud that it'd make waves in the pool. And you'd eat the food that he'd cook for you, that he sourced off his own farm, and you would have just the time of your life.
Dude, he's got to bring that thing to L.A. Pop that thing on the streets of L.A. and just cruising. What kind of following you think he'd get here, boy? That's wow.
Trey Turner sends the ball to right center field. Sheets is on the move. He will get there and end the inning. Johnny Cueto puts up the first 0 of the game. 3-0, middle 3. In the game, we check out the T-Mobile coverage cam. You talked about burgers. You talked about sliders. I think it's too big to qualify as sliders, but
Definitely burgers.
What do you think we're featuring up there?
Yeah, what kind of cheese is that?
Is that a cheese, or is that
I'm not entirely sure. It's ball one on A.J. Pollock. I think it is. Is it, what's the kind of cheese in a can?
Oh, the Velveeta or Cheese Whiz?
Cheese Whiz they're just spraying on there and smashing it? It's Merck's Cheddar. Obviously. Pollock into left center field for Chris Taylor. And the first out of the third. Sometimes Rick Krajewski gives us stats. Sometimes he gives us names of cheese. Little tub of cheese. Merck's cheese spread.
I can't say that I'm familiar with that.
No.
I've never, like, that you just scoop out cheese out of a tub.
Yeah, and you smash it on the burger.
Right, yeah, they're all right.
Danny Mendick hitting ninth tonight. He was in the leadoff spot yesterday. Mendick is the guy they called up when Tim Anderson went on the injured list, and he's hitting .400 in the 7 games since he replaced Anderson. He takes a strike from Gonsolin. 28 years old in his 4th year with Major League time. Back and forth between the big leagues and the minors over those 4 years. On the corner with a heater, 0-2.
Good night to be a pitcher so far. We've seen Jerry Meals with that zone that it's an expansive zone.
Here comes the 1-2. He gets it off the end of the barrel with a slider. Trey Turner gets Mendick. 2 away in this 3rd inning, and a word from Carl's Jr.
This summer, prime rib is the star. Bite into the new Primal Angus Thick Burger or Beyond Raptor at Carl's Jr. See Jurassic World Dominion in theaters June 10th.
Just one base runner for Tony Gonsolin, first time through the lineup. They get their second look at him now. Here's Leury Garcia. Popped out on the first pitch of the game. Spikes the first one. This is the 3rd consecutive outing now, EK, that we've seen more fastballs from Tony Gonsolin. Up near 50% tonight. On the season, it's around 30.
Well, you don't want to become predictable. Teams know all your tendencies, and you've got to vary them from game to game.
Doubled up on that curveball, found the zone that time. It's funny, a lot of times you're talking about being predictable. It's using your fastball too much.
Right.
This is the other way, though, where you didn't want to become too predictable on the other stuff, and he's gotten back to throwing that heater a fair amount.
Remember also, just because the numbers say you're more effective with this pitch or that pitch, on given nights you may feel I've got this pitch and I've got the fastball really feels good. Maybe the splitter isn't as good. Maybe that's not the weapon of choice.
Got him. 1-2-3 inning for Tony Gonsolin, who's got 2 Ks and has put up 3 more zeros. So far tonight, Will Smith in that first inning with a 2-run home run against Johnny Cueto. Then it was Cody Bellinger out of the 6th spot in the order in the 2nd with a leadoff shot. And we were talking about it before that part of the order came up. Top of the order and the bottom of the order have been the best in the National League this year. Obvious at the top with Betts, Freeman, and Turner. Got good production out of the bottom from Taylor and Lux for a lot of the year compared to the rest of the league. But the heart of the lineup, 3rd worst in the National League in terms of OPS coming into the game. It's ball 1 on Will Smith. Nice to see him get going. Nice to see Bellinger do it. We were talking about this before the game today. Max Muncy, just a key piece of this lineup finding continuity. And that's top to bottom continuity, not necessarily day to day.
When you talk about Max Muncy, I really believe he's the single most important piece of this ball club because he impacts it in so many ways. You put him in the middle of the lineup. He has power. He gets on base. You can play him at second base. You can play him at third if you have to give Freddie a day off at first. Just so many ways that he makes a difference. Both sides of the ball.
Well, Muncy for AAA Oklahoma City last night hit a walk-off home run. That is foul, and it's 2-2 on Will Smith. Dave Roberts is saying before the game they're trying to get Muncy here for tomorrow's game, which, remember, is an early start time. So they're working on getting him on a plane to Chicago and get him activated. I said, Max, go on down to Oklahoma City, sort some things out, hit a walk-off, and we'll bring you back up. Smith down the line, foul. And it was as much of a chance for him to reset as it was anything physical with the elbow. So hopefully the time away, not just the few days in Oklahoma City to get ramped back up, but the week or so that he was with the team, just not doing anything hitting related. Hopefully that's just what the doctor ordered to get his season going. A little more on Max Muncy. Here's Kirsten.
Thanks, Joe. Well, Dave Roberts also added.
The suspense is killing me, Kirsten. What a pregnant pause. We'll get back to Kirsten in a moment. Another 2-2 is high for ball 3. Okay, that was quite a pause. Go ahead. Still pausing.
Joe, you guys got, there we are. I hear myself for the anticipation here. Aaron Bates was on the trip in OKC with Max Muncy. He's reported back that the quality of at-bats, they've been there, and he's not always necessarily getting the results. The walk-off home run was huge for him, but just the hard contact has been there. So Dave Roberts added that Max Muncy, the elbow is feeling healthier, so if they can get him here tomorrow, we may just see him back in the lineup, guys.
All right. With the goatee, his first game in a Dodger uniform with a true goatee. One away in the 4th inning. Here's Justin Turner. Fly to right his first time. Grounds this one to short for Mendick. 2 away. Well, had to feel good for Will Smith. Had to feel the same for Cody Bellinger, who clubbed his 7th of the season, leading off the 2nd inning.
And you talk about feeling good. The thing about baseball, when things aren't going well because you've got games every day, things can just snowball and it just becomes overwhelming. And whether physically or mentally, you just can't produce. But when you have something like that, again, it just is like an exhale. I think that's one of the reasons Max Muncy, obviously you said a reset. Hopefully he's found that.
Two and one. Cueto deals. Bellinger watches ball 3. Well, since that Bellinger home run, Cueto has set down 8 in a row. Here comes the 3-1 pitch. Bottom falls out of it. It's 3-2.
Came after him with a 3-1 changeup. Almost feel like he's going to try to sneak a fastball up now. There enough buttons on that pitch com to push for.
He did throw him a fastball. It's popped into foul ground and out of play. We talk about how old school Johnny Cueto is, but he's embraced pitch calm once they got the extra buttons for him. See more and more teams buying into that. PitchCom's continuing to evolve its technology as they run into little snags here and there. Here's another payoff. It's ball 4. First walk for the Dodgers, and Bellinger's been on both times. Two gone, 4th inning. Chris Taylor comes to the plate. It's going to be interesting when playoff time rolls around. I think we were talking about this a little bit last night when it was getting as loud as it was. The playoff time, because we've seen pretty much any time that the crowd is really rocking, the pitcher has a hard time. And the crowd's always rocking in October.
Well, it'll really be impactful if a team relies on pitch calm. There's a guy on second base. You have all this crowd noise, and then you have to rely to some hand signals, and then you're worried about them getting your signs. It will be interesting because I think you're exactly right. It's going to have an unintended impact come playoff time.
And even if you can strain and hear it, the effort put into having to strain to hear it is not nothing. You got enough going on trying to pitch in a postseason game.
100%.
That is not at all meant to knock it. I think it's great. Probably all going to see more and more guys picking it up.
Speeds up the game
Sure
as
does.
well. I like it.
Bellinger at first with 2 gone as Taylor pops this one back and out of play. Yankees pitching staff has been the #1 staff in baseball. The whole staff is using it. Going into the year, they had some skeptics, but they've all bought into it, and they're all talking about how they feel like it sped them up in a good way. Yankees are known for playing super long games. Last year, 25% of their games were under 3 hours. This year, half their games have been under 3 hours.
Think of it this way with PitchCom. We're talking about you may have to expand some energy just to try to hear it. How about the energy? Okay, now we're using these signs when there's a guy on second. Oh no, we're using these signs. All that sort of stuff that becomes eliminated. Now it's just
yeah. Two and two on Taylor, who went down swinging his first time. He pulls this one towards the left field corner, but foul. Another 2-2. Taylor chases strike 3. Inning over. Dodgers get a 2-out walk, but nothing to show for it. Middle 4, they lead 3-0.
come out to Capital One Play Ball Park at MLB Live in downtown LA, July 16th through the 19th. There's something for every member of the family. For tickets and more information, visit allstargame.com.
10th of the lineup for the White Sox. Strike one on Luis Robert after Tony Gonsolin worked a 1-2-3 third inning. Struck out Larry Garcia. He's starting to feel himself a little bit here. The catwalk.
Little catwalk, little shoulder strut there.
Oh, he hits Robert. Leadoff man reaches for the first time.
It's just a four-seamer that gets away. Continuing to run in. Robert nowhere to go.
Robert aboard, Moncada to the plate. I mentioned last night that Michael Kopech, the starting pitcher for the White Sox, was acquired in the Chris Sale deal, and that Moncada was as well. At the time, Yohan Moncada was the #1 prospect in all of baseball. It's the first time in 25 years that the very top prospect had been traded. There goes the runner. Here's the throw from Smith. Not in time. Good throw, but Robert got a good jump, and he swipes second. White Sox now 29 of 31 stealing bases this year.
Will does a nice job of getting rid of it. Probably just a little higher than he would have liked by the time the tag comes down and is applied. Robert's in there with the slide.
First runner in scoring position against Gonsolin. He's been good in every situation this year, but the tougher things get against him, the better he's been. This was actually really close. Dodgers say play on. Tony Gonsolin with men on base, holding the opponent to a 115 average. With runners in scoring position, they're 3 for 32. Here's his 2-1. Ball 3. Fly to left field for Chris Taylor. Shuffles around, makes the catch, and Moncada's the first out of the inning.
I was going to say, you talked about it tonight where Gonsolin using the fastball more often to get outs, and he went after him with a high fastball there, able to induce that fly ball.
And now faces Jose Abreu, grounded out to third his first time up. After getting 2 hits last night, he again is their hottest hitter. Good stop there by Will Smith.
Watch Will right here. He keeps it glove like it's a backhand. Still able to field that thing because it came up so high. Really the only thing he could do with his glove.
On the corner there, and it's 1-1. Ball 2. Gonsolin not liking that call. The on-screen strike zone showed it clearly outside, but Jerry Meals has gone out there a little bit tonight. Robert at second, 1 away in a 3-0 game, 4th inning. Gonsolin to Abreu after a look back there. Oh, the 2-1. Oh, check swing foul, and it's 2-2. That is how you knock in as many runs as this guy has throughout his now 9 years in the majors. Robert at second, one gone. Gonsolin to Abreu with a 2-2 pitch. Full count. Having a harder time getting that splitter where he wants it to go tonight.
Yeah, hasn't had the splitter, and as you mentioned, that's why he's throwing the fastball so often. Again, it's going to vary from start to start and what he feels comfortable with, and he just hasn't had that splitter up to this point.
Incredibly efficient through 3 innings. First adversity here in the 4th. Payoff pitch to Jose Abreu. Pops straight back, and we'll do it again.
That's a great pitch there, going with that splitter, because even if he doesn't throw it for a strike, you put Abreu down at first base. You've got Grandal coming up. You've got the double play in order. And this is the guy that, especially now, you cannot let him beat you. You pick out one player on the opposing team, it's that man right there. No way does he beat me.
Another 3-2. Fastball driven down the line. Betts is over. He has room. Gonsolin wins the battle with Abreu. Robert takes third. 2 gone in the 4th. So opponents now 3 for 34 with runners in scoring position against Tony Gonsolin. And it is up to Yasmani Grandal, who looked unrecognizable in his first at-bat.
Right, some of the swings he took, you just, wow, this is the guy that the former All-Star, had a great season last year. I mean, he does. He looks lost.
Led the league in on-base percentage last year, and he hit 23 home runs. Pinpoint fastball, strike 1, and then you go up there and you get an unhittable pitch, huh?
It's like he's telling Jerry Meals right now, look, Jerry, nobody needs any help getting me out right now. I'm having a hard enough time when it's over the plate. And that's real. That is real, and every hitter will go through it.
Robert way off third as the 0-1 comes home, and pressure being put on Will Smith here. Robert got hit by a pitch to lead off the inning. He's the third with 2 gone as a 1-1 comes home, and Grandal fouls it off 1-2. Tony Gonsolin trying to move to 7-0. There's 1-2 pitch. In the dirt, but not far enough away from Smith, and it's 2-2. Finished Grandal off with a high fastball his first time up there. One of his 2 Ks. Two pitch. Flied to left. Routine for Taylor, and Gonsolin pitches around the leadoff base runner. After 4 innings, the Dodgers lead 3-0. play is brought to you by Morongo Casino Resort and Spa. Good times, less than 90 minutes from wherever you are. And by your Southern California Toyota dealers. Those look good. You know what? I don't know what they're called. Funnel cakes?
Yeah, no,
that's funnel cake.
That looks a lot better than that canned cheese we were looking at.
Yeah, I'd take that.
I could put a few of those down right now.
Right over there.
Love it. Top of the 5th inning, Dodgers have a 3-0 lead and a couple home runs. They got one in the first inning from Will Smith, one in the second from Cody Bellinger, and they've got Eddie Alvarez to lead off this 5th. Johnny Cueto comes home. Alvarez golfs the first pitch into center field. One pitch, one out. Johnny Cueto signed for $35,000 back in the early 2000s out of the Dominican Republic to the Cincinnati Reds. And he's going to finish off his career having made more than $150 million. So from a guy who nobody thought was worth more than 35 grand to 15 years in the major league. So many amazing things on his resume. All by pitching in the truest sense. 1 ball, no strikes on Gavin Lux. One.
I think the thing that I've most enjoyed about Cueto is his exuberance for the game, the way he goes out there and he just looks like he's having fun, making things up. He's doing it at the biggest level, the highest level.
And he says that a lot of that comes from the perspective gained and being a guy nobody really gave a chance to do this. He's what, 5'10", right? Talking about physically not imposing. Scouts didn't love him. He had to basically beg his way into tryouts when he was trying to get signed. So just making it to the majors was in a lot of ways beating the odds. Just low, and it's 2-2.
Well, sometimes tonight strikes are balls and balls are strikes.
Question everything. Wow, knocks this one down, and Lux is on with one away in the 5th. Preservation.
I like the fact, though, that he just runs after that. He just continues to run straight ahead. He's not going to bend over and possibly pull something in his back. He's just smooth.
Top of the order back up there. Dodgers get their 3rd look at Johnny Cueto. Here's Mookie Betts. Fly to left, grounded to short. The way that Johnny specifically got signed, the scout that wound up saying, okay, I'll sign him, it was only through a connection of one of his coaches that he even got that tryout. It's a fly ball to center field, routine for Luis Robert. He's got it. Betts is out number 2. So the scouting director for the Reds happened to be in the Dominican, not anywhere near Johnny. In fact, he was about 100 miles away. And the coach called and said, hey, I got this guy. I want you to come see. And the scouting director said, no chance. I'm driving 100 miles to go watch that guy. If he wants me to see him, have him come here. So Johnny had to find a way to make this 100-mile trip happen. He gathered up some money, got the fare to make the trip, and gets out, throws 15 pitches, and the scouting director says, oh my gosh, okay, like there's something here. Why don't you go to the Reds facility the next day, get some more eyes on you? Other people liked him too. They signed him 2 weeks later. But he might not have gotten discovered had he not taken the initiative to
go out there.
Make the trip. To roller to second. Garcia will get Freeman and end the 5th. We're halfway home in Chicago with the Dodgers in front of Cueto and the White Sox. 3-zip.
Sports Educator Sweepstakes. 8 lucky winners will receive a $50 gift certificate from Shakey's Pizza plus a teaching kit. Enter online at SpectrumEducator.com for your chance to win.
Jake Berger goes after Tony Gonsolin's first pitch of the 5th, fouls it off, strike 1. Berger has the only hit of this game for the White Sox. Single back in the 2nd. Tony Gonsolin trying to do what he did last week, and that was put an end to a losing streak. They just gotten swept by the Pittsburgh Pirates. Gonsolin threw 6 shutout innings to help the Dodgers beat the Mets. They've dropped 3 in a row coming into this one, and he's put up 4 zeros so far. That's the kind of stuff that earns you the name stopper. That's the kind of stuff that makes you more and more of somebody that your team looks at in high regard. Becomes more than just a string of good starts. 1-2.
And he's a guy too that he's not an intimidating pitcher. He is a legitimate, he's a good pitcher. As a hitter, you don't go into the box fearing, oh my goodness, this guy has a 98-mile-an-hour fastball. But you've got to be cognizant of the splitter, the slider. I mean, he truly is out there pitching.
Two and 2 on Berger. Berger's worked it full. Yeah. 3-2 pitch. Drilled to left on a line. It's gone. Jake Berger stays hot with a solo home run, and the White Sox are on the board in the 5th.
This is a high fastball, and he just squares this thing up. That is a literal line drive. It wasn't any launch angle because it was up in the zone. It's almost like he swung down on the thing. But he's seen Gonsolin well, and obviously with the way he's hit the ball 2 times.
8th extra base hit for Jake Berger in his last 11 games. 4th home run in that span. Strike 1 on Gavin Sheets. The White Sox desperate for guys like Berger to get going. Anybody to get going with an offense that has fallen way below expectations so far this year. Sheets now into left center field. That is going to split the gap. Back-to-back extra base hits. This one a double from Sheets. His first one of this series.
Tony tried to sneak an 0-1 curveball in there. He just kind of rolled up there. She does a nice job staying with that thing, driving that ball. That ball really took off when it got to the alley. I thought it was going to come back to Taylor, but squared that up real nice and just got to the wall.
1 hit through 4, 2 hits to the first 2 hitters here in the 5th. Homer for Berger, double for Sheets, and now A.J. Pollock, who lined out his first time. He said, yeah, it was a little extra special what he did last night to his old team. First pitch that he saw. What overall has been a tough first season with the White Sox. Takes upstairs, ball one. This is Pollock off of the bench last night. First pitch that he saw from David Price, he clubbed down the line to give the White Sox the lead. That's a strike. Come on back.
Felt like that was a good pitch.
So did Jerry Meals. Both sides express some displeasure.
Yeah, but I didn't think it was that questionable right there. I mean, there'd been a lot worse tonight. With as big as Meals' zone has been as a hitter, you got to know anything close is probably going to be a strike.
So it's 3-1. Gonsolin comes back home and finds the outside corner to run the count full.
That pitch right there was, look at, I'm calling the pitches back here. That's a legitimate ball or two outside. That you've got some complaining to do. That's, man. Good to be on the mound right now.
Yeah. Good to be the Catman. Sheets is second, nobody out. 3-2 pitch to A.J. Pollock. Fell behind 3-0. He's worked it back to 3-2. Comes home again. Just misses. That's one with the zone that Meals has established. Could have gone either way. This one goes Pollock's way.
Man, I thought Jerry was going to do it to him right there. This pitch is clearly a ball, but as you mentioned, Jerry's had an expansive zone, and Pollock had walked out of the box 2 times prior to that. I mean, it's not. Even Jerry couldn't call that a strike.
Yeah. Now a word from Carl's Jr.
This summer, prime rib is the star. Bite into the new Primal Angus Thick Burger or Beyond Raptor at Carl's Jr. See Jurassic World Dominion in theaters June 10th.
Well, the White Sox didn't have anything going until the 6th inning last night when they got the 5 consecutive base runners and scored all 4 runs. Yeah, they didn't have anything going tonight. Just 1 base runner, 2 base runners through 4, but 3 in a row to open this 5th.
Well, Tony's got to regroup. Remember who he is, the success he's had. You know, don't get curtailed by the 2 hard hit balls. Got Mendick last time on a ground ball to short. Look for that splitter right here and try to induce a ground ball.
Took it for a ball, 1-0. Bouncing ball to short. Turner goes to second for one. That's all they'll get. And they're at the corners with one away.
Well, he got that ground ball to short, just beat into the ground, and no way that Luxie was going to be able to turn two. Good job of just holding on to that thing.
Dodgers 3, White Sox 1. Back to the top of the order, and Leury Garcia. Well, here's a spot where Tony La Russa's decision to bat Garcia leadoff is like, okay, you understand that he fulfills some qualities you're looking for in an old school leadoff hitter. He can run a little bit, but typically you're seeing teams put their best hitters at the top of the lineup these days, and Garcia has not been close to one of those. And here he is with the tying run aboard and one away here in the fifth.
Yeah, I think Tony just likes the aspect of Garcia being a switch hitter, and he can do that lefty, righty, lefty, right. You know, he can just, like, that's going to make a difference. But I agree with you. My top guys are going to be 1, 2, and 3. They're going to be my best hitters. I want them getting the most at-bats in a game.
Big rip and a miss, strike one. Yancy Almonte warming in the Dodger bullpen. Another area where Gonsolin has been very good this year is facing hitters a third time. Getting an opportunity to do so here. So efficient through the first few innings, even with some traffic the last couple. Still at 67 pitches. With a curve, and it's foul, and it's 0-2.
Yeah, he came into the inning only having thrown 49 pitches, so he's got some room to work right now. Just got to get out of trouble.
He's gone 6 innings, 4 consecutive starts. Didn't do it a single time last year. In fact, he only went 5 innings last year, 4 times.
Wow.
And he's gone 6, 4 in a row. Has Garcia in an 0-2 hole. Fires and strikes him out. Sits Garcia down with the splitter for a big second out here in the fifth.
Well, he went to his pitch. He hasn't had a lot of success with it tonight just because of the control aspect. Here he throws that great splitter right there. Gets Garcia.
You know, the much bigger test bats here. Luis Robert grounded out in the first inning, got hit by a pitch in the fourth. Guy that was the top hitter in the American League last year when he was healthy. First one from Gonsolin. It's a slider. Does he check? He does. And it's 1-0. Luis Robert missed a lot of time last season with a torn hip flexor, but in the 60 games that he played, he hit .338. He had an OPS close to 1,000 as a 23-year-old. On a 1-0 pitch. Flies it to center field, but no big deal for Cody Bellinger. And Tony Gonsolin limits the damage to just the leadoff home run.
The Dodgers meet the Padres. Be one of the first 40,000 fans in attendance and receive a first ever Trey Turner bobblehead courtesy of Bank of America. For tickets, visit Dodgers.com/promotions.
Say a bobblehead depicts him sliding. Tony Gonsolin gives up the leadoff home run to Jake Berger. 3 straight base runners after that, but no further damage. So just 72 pitches over those 5 innings. As Trey Turner takes a strike from Johnny Cueto. Dodgers got 2 in the first inning on a Will Smith home run. They got 1 in the second and a Cody Bellinger home run. No balls, 2 strikes. We were talking about that bobblehead giveaway, part of a series with the Padres coming up in early July. It'll be the first time the Dodgers have seen them since April. First time they've hosted them this year. Lead them by a game and a half at this point. Top to short. Mendick steps into it and gets Turner, showing off a strong arm to do so.
Nice play by Mendick. Had to make the quick transfer because that was a high hopper. Makes a perfect throw.
Sean Manaea, Chris Bassett tonight, by the way. Just finish up that thought on the Padres. Final game between the Mets and the Pods. They're just underway.
Battle of some former Oakland A's.
That's right. With Bob Melvin as the skipper. Ball one on Will Smith.
There's one other pitcher for the Oakland A's. It's going to find his way into a playoff ball club. That's Frankie Montas, right?
Former Dodger.
Former Dodger. You're right. Yep.
Traded in the Will Smith, Will Smith. Just say whatever you see on the TV, dude. Here's a fly ball to center field. Luis Robert will make catches. Traded for Rich Hill. They actually faced each other the other day. Rich Hill started for the Red Sox. Frankie Montas for the A's. There's Johnny Cueto chewing gum. There's Johnny Cueto throwing the ball in here. Nice. 2 gone for Turner. And the Dodgers started this game 3 for 6. They had 3 runs in the bank, 1 for 15 since. Down the chute for a strike. With a rock and a pitch and a foul.
My question is going to be, I want to find out, what makes Johnny Cueto decide to pause one time and then rock the next time, and then I've never heard a reason for it.
All I've heard him say is that a lot of times he decides while he's in the delivery.
Yeah.
Like catcher's got no idea. He doesn't even know as he takes that first step a lot of times. Just whatever comes to him. He's like a jazz musician.
Is that right?
Yeah. Just what comes to him. 2-2.
Like, I'm wondering, does he, with the slider, can he pause? Can he quick pitch with the slider? Does he only do that with the fastball or the change? Be interesting we'll get Rick to chart pitches, see if he can find a pattern.
But we'll need a large set of data, so thankfully we have 15 years of tape for Rick to track and
give him a little something to do tonight.
Yeah. Keep him out of trouble in Chicago. Quick pitch. All right, Rick, that was a quick pitch and a fastball. Started it for you.
So, like, what prompted that? Is that, was there a gas pain or something? I mean, why did he decide to do that all of a sudden? I mean, watch this. All right, I'm going to go slow. Oh, no, I'm not. Here we go.
In the air to center. Robert is there. Oh, a collision nearly with Sheets. It's Robert to make the catch and end the inning, but it could have gone sideways very easily there. 2 big guys nearly colliding in the gap. Instead, it's a 1-2-3 inning for Johnny Cueto. The Steelers. Tony Gonsolin, 1.61 ERA, has given up just the solo home run through 5 innings. And with that pitch count still very much under control, he'll face 3, 4, and 5 here in the 6th. Moncada, Abreu, and Grandal. Those 3 guys combined 0 for 6 tonight. First one to Yohan Moncada. Back foot's a breaking ball. It's 1-0. Moncada, one of 3 consecutive hitters in this lineup out of Cuba. Robert, Moncada, and Abreu. Knifes his pop fly down the line to left. Long way to go for Chris Taylor. He gets there and almost trips, but makes the catch.
CT gets over there and almost gets his feet tangled a bit. Able to control his body and stick with it.
Dodgers up 3-1. Gonsolin faces Jose Abreu. Ground out and fly out for the native of Cuba's southern coast. A remote area of the country. Grew up in a small wooden house. Wasn't just him and his brothers and sisters and parents. There were 3 generations of his family living in that small wooden house in the coastal town. Family didn't have a car. So as he started playing more and more baseball and had to travel a little bit, they got him there via horse and buggy. Checks his swing. 1 ball, 1 strike. Started playing when he was 7. And very quickly he was always one of the biggest kids, but very quickly he was one of the best baseball players, and they say he's always been the hardest worker. Every day before practice he'd hit 150 balls off a tee. Every day after practice he'd do the same thing. Takes a strike. He's behind 1-2. He's with all that hard work and a lot of natural talent as well, but all that hard work that got him from really severe poverty to the big leagues. On a 1-2 from Tony Gonsolin, he swings and misses. Good slider from Catman. 2 away in the 6th.
Goes with that slider on the outer part of the plate. Really great to see after that last inning where he had to battle out of some trouble, had thrown 23 pitches. You kind of felt like, oh, okay. But he's come right out this inning, gets the leadoff hitter, strikes out Abreu. It looks like he's got full command again.
He's got that look back too, with that prowl going.
The prowl.
Yeah.
Meow.
Grandal fouls off the first pitch. Well, it only took us 56 games. We got EK meowing on the air. But it only took you like game 15
I mean, you count
to
spring
18.
Yeah, I mean,
20.
I had to get comfortable.
That's right. Built up. It's a 1-1 pitch. Grandal fouls off a fastball. Well, there have been some pitches to Yasmani that have caught a decent part of the plate. He's just not been close to. Third year of a 4-year contract. 4 years, $73 million with the White Sox after an all-star season with the Brewers. Gonsolin looking for a 1-2-3 6th inning. Here he comes with the 2-2. White Sox trying to find some 2-out offense in the 6th inning, as they did last night. You know, they went into last night's game as the worst 2-out hitting team in baseball, and then Scored all 4 runs with 2 gone in the 6th. Another 2-2. Back-to-back Ks to finish off a 1-2-3-6. Dodger Baseball on Sportsnet LA is brought to you by Jack in the Box. Introducing the new $5.99 Double Bacon Cheesy Jack Combo at Jack in the Box. Order on the Jack app today. And by the SoCal BMW Centers, BMW, the ultimate driving machine. White Sox took the opener 4-0 last night. Dodgers lead game 2 3-1. On to the 7th inning. 5 Ks for Tony Gonsolin, 5 more for the Dodgers, and everybody gets a free Jumbo Jack tomorrow. A conversation with Dave Roberts. Looks like that's probably going to do it for Gonsolin, who goes 6 innings for the 5th consecutive start. Gives up just the solo home run to Jake Berger. Now on to the 7th and into the White Sox bullpen. This is Bennett Sousa, who comes on to face Cody Bellinger. Healthy rip and a foul tip. Strike 1. Well, Sousa, the rookie, had a decent stretch in late April, early May, but over his last 4 innings, he's given up 9 runs.
A decent sized kid, 6'3", 220 out of Virginia. Fastball slider guy. Basically 2 pitches, run it up there about 94, 93, 94, slider 86.
Trying to do something Cueto failed to do. That is retire Bellinger. Took him deep in the 2nd, walked in the 4th. Sousa home with an 0-2. White Sox bullpen has shined during this 3-game winning streak. 10 1/3 scoreless innings pitched by the Sox pen. Bellinger goes down, digs that one off of the dirt, testing Mendick, who makes a nice play and has made several of them tonight.
Yeah, Mendick has really made some nice plays, and he's done it from varied spots. We saw earlier at the true shortstop position make a nice play on Turner. This ball up the middle, he's got to charge that. Bellinger hustling down that line, making a sidearm throw. Very athletic out there.
So 1 away, and Sousa to face another former Cavalier, Chris Taylor. Taylor in this series 0 for 5, 4 Ks. Well, it's been interesting though, because, and I think of this because he chased for strike 3 last time. Even though he's got these really high strikeout totals, would you believe that he has the lowest 2-strike chase rate in baseball?
I wouldn't believe that.
That's crazy.
No, I mean, it really is. It doesn't make a lot of sense. So the chase rate isn't there, but the swing and miss.
Exactly.
Right?
It's pitches in the zone when he's not quite right that comes up empty on. Or is taking, the
taking him right,
pitches.
right.
But he'd tell you a lot of times it is that swing just a little off, gets a little bit loopy. We've talked about it before. There's a lot that goes on in his swing, a lot of movement with his hands. And he can be just a little off and finds himself swinging under pitches a lot that are pitches he'd normally hit. On a 2-0. He went around, and it's 2-1.
This pitch diving out of the zone, and CT unable to hold up.
On a 2-1 from Sousa, Taylor grounds it off the hands to 3rd. 2 out. And Okada makes a nice play. 3-1 game, 7th inning. Hanser Alberto will pinch hit for Eddie Alvarez. Pinch hit for Alvarez last night with a couple runners on, struck out. He's had much better numbers, and obviously a tiny sample, 1 for 7 as a pinch hitter, but much better numbers in a starting role than coming off the bench. Sousa's 0-1. Swing and a miss. 0-2 very quickly. Sousa makes quick work of Alberto and the Dodgers in this 7th inning. They get off to the hot start. They're 1 for their last 19. It's a tight one as we stretch in Chicago.
Sunday, June 19th, when the Dodgers close out the Cleveland series, be one of the first 40,000 fans in attendance and receive a bucket hat courtesy of Security Benefit. For information, visit Dodgers.com/promotions.
Okay, Kirsten, who's in, who's out? Brought to you by In-N-Out. It's Yency Almonte, pitching in both games in this series so far.
Yeah, he threw a little bit last night. It was effective, and ERA of 1.3. See that opponent average, 1.78.
Berger, Sheets, and Pollock due up. Jake Berger has been the offense for the White Sox. Solo home run, accounting for their scoring. There's strike one, and we check in with Kirsten again.
Yeah, guys, well, for Yency, I got to catch up with him today, and he said that right now the big focus for him has been the consistency with his slider. He said that he's felt like there have been moments where it's been really good, but other times where it hasn't been as such. So he's been working closely with the coaches in the bullpen, and he added that he just really loves it here, and this team has really allowed him to continue to find the confidence with himself and some of those pitches he's got there, guys.
All right, Kirsten, as he implements that sinker as well. Downstairs with it here, ball 2 on Berger. Talking about it a little bit last night, but the Dodgers not necessarily overhauling his mix, but definitely tweaking. Instead of being a 4-seam guy, a 2-seam guy. Works in conjunction with that pitch much better. That is the slider that Kirsten said he's been working on. Not exactly where he wanted it, but it produces the first out.
Finally get Berger to hit something that's not on the barrel of the bat. See that slider there. And you mentioned one of the things too, he's not pitching in Colorado, which that can do wonders for you mentally in a bad way if you're a pitcher.
It's interesting though that Colorado never suggested he throw a sinker. Sheets takes ball. So wait a minute, there was a pitch that could have been thrown this whole time to help me not give up home runs here. It's 1-1. White Sox have 3 hits in this game, 2 of them from Berger, who Almonte just got out, 1 from Sheets. Here's a 1-1 pitch. Poke foul, 1-2. Look out. 2-strike count. Last thing you want to do is put the tying run at home plate. Jump the rope to avoid it. Backdoor to get him looking. 2 gone in the 7th.
Almonte working that arm side slider right there. She just gives up on that thing, catches a corner.
Well, Punit's just 2 for 22 against that pitch this season, as he gets the first 2 hitters of this inning on it. And up comes A.J. Pollock. Bases empty. Slider for ball 1. That was his 13th K. Out of those 22 at-bats, finished him with a slider. Sticking with it, 1-1. Almonte trying to help solve the bullpen woes lately. Last night was the 3rd straight game they've given up 4. 1-2. Dodgers looking for somebody like him to step into one of those spots vacated by Trinan, vacated by Tommy Kahnle, who was turning into one of the high leverage pieces. And for this series, to help with the trickle down and not having Craig Kimbrell.
Yep.
He's away on paternity leave. Congratulations again to the Kimbrell family. A slider gets Pollock. 1-2-3, 7th inning for Yency Almonte. Leaning on that slider. 3-1 after 7. LA is brought to you by the 2022 Ford F-150 truck and your Southern California Ford dealer, where the future comes standard. Dodgers up 3-1. 2 in the first inning on a Will Smith home run, 1 in the second on a Cody Bellinger homer. And Matt Foster into the game for the White Sox. I can report enters the game to Powerman 5000. Rob Zombie.
You might be on something right there.
Yeah.
Is it? Is that what we got?
Yep. Speaking of walk-up songs and entrance songs, reports out of Anaheim that are telling us that the Angels, as they try to snap a 13-game losing streak, every hitter's coming up with Nickelback as their walk-up.
Desperate times require desperate measures.
Gavin Lux leads off the 8th for the Dodgers, and Foster over the top breaker for a strike. If you had to pick a Nickelback song to walk up to, what would you choose?
I couldn't tell you the name of the song. I could sing it though.
Go ahead.
I'm not really going to do that. I already went with the meow today.
Out on the air.
Yeah, it's a bit much.
I think I know what one you're thinking.
Well, why don't you sing it for me?
I'm just going to tell you.
You're just going to. Okay, give me the name. You got it.
This Is How You Remind Me.
That's not a bad.
Look, man, Nickelback gets a bad.
I like Nickelback.
Yeah,
I don't know the songs. I don't know the names.
Photograph, go up there.
That's
crying.
it. Photograph. That was it. Photograph.
Strike 3 called, 1 away. Jeez, your average isn't that low. Why are you crying? Well, listen to the song. Dodgers 3, White Sox 1. Mookie Betts comes up there. Dodgers haven't won a game since April 16th, where Betts and Freeman both go hitless. And so far tonight, they're 0 for 6 combined. Fly to right field. Just got it off the end of the bat some. Gavin Sheets is there. A couple quick outs for Foster. Dodgers without a hit since the 5th, and only 2 base runners since Bellinger's leadoff home run in the 2nd.
And not a lot of offense tonight for either side, obviously. Mookie's had 3 fly balls. Felt like he's just missed a couple of them.
Two out for Freeman. Looking for his first hit of this series. He takes a strike from Foster. Betts has made an out on the first pitch that he's seen each of the last 3 times up.
Yeah.
Kind of on brand for the game, which has been trucking along. Both pitchers throwing a lot of strikes and a lot of aggressive swings, a lot of early contact. No balls, 2 strikes. Now the 1-2. It's a fastball that misses away. And Matt Foster had one game where he gave up 3 runs against the Yankees. It's really the lone stain on what has been a great season. He's got a 1.60 ERA otherwise. Looking for a 1-2-3-8, trying to make it 11 consecutive Dodgers retired. His 2-2 to Freddie Freeman is fouled off.
You talk about the success that Foster's had. This staff is legit. And you're talking about starters, relievers. And we have not even mentioned, nor have the White Sox even seen Lance Lynn. And he is right around the corner. And he steps right into being the ace of this staff when healthy.
Another 2-2. Got him with a changeup. Dodgers down in order here in the 8th inning. It's 3-1.
Chicago, the Dodgers only have 4 hits, but 2 of them were called shots by Eric Karros and Nomar.
EK, Gnomes, you guys are ballers.
How you doing, Jerry?
I'm struggling.
See you after the game.
He'll make it. The home run hitters right there. Eric Karros calling Will Smith's. Nomar Garciaparra calling Cody Bellinger's. 3-1, Dodgers in front, trying to even this series at a game apiece. And for the 8th inning, it's Brusdar Graterol who's trying to get back on the beam after giving up 3 runs in back-to-back games. 9-1-2 for the White Sox. Strike 1 on Danny Mendick. Dave Roberts saying he sees Brusdar Graterol just trying to be a little bit too fine, instead of trusting that the stuff is really hard to hit and filling up the zone with it.
It's almost as if you want the catcher really just setting up right down the middle of the plate, just letting Graterol's stuff do its thing. When he tries to be hitting, pinpoint guy hitting a corner or something, that's where he can lose his effectiveness.
Dodgers going to need him, especially these few games with no Kimbrel. The trickle down to that is that Daniel Hudson is going to be the closer. And so Graterol, even though his last couple outings have been rough, right back in a high leverage spot, induces a little comebacker and gets Mendick for the first out of the 8th. Top of the order, Leury Garcia. Padres with an early 1-0 lead on the Mets on a base hit from Nomar Mazara. Dodgers lead them by a 1.5 games. Giants taking on the Rockies, second game there. Rockies beat the Giants last night. It's Alex Wood for the Giants in this one. Antonio Senzatella for the Rockies.
See the Giants set down their catcher?
Yeah, Joey Bart.
Right?
It's a tall task being the guy to follow Buster Posey. 1-2 as he gets a swing and a miss with the cutter. White Sox pitching has retired 11 straight Dodgers since White Sox hitters got the first 3 on in the 6th inning, or in the 5th inning. Dodger pitching has retired 10 in a row. Gratterall home with a 1-2, and he gets him swinging. Third strikeout of the game for Leury Garcia.
The fans are not excited, obviously. Hear all the boos. This ball out of the zone. Not even really a competitive swing. That's where you get into lineup construction. There's only going to be a handful of White Sox hitters who have 4 plate appearances tonight, and you're basically saying, by putting Garcia at the top of the lineup, he's one of those guys I want to have get 4 at-bats. Huh?
Yeah. And I think that a lot of people would agree that lineup construction overall is kind of an overrated concept. There's Tapper off of the bat of Robert. Easy play, Gratterall, but that's one that's pretty glaring.
Yeah, right?
That's a 1-2-3 inning for Brusdar Gratterall. Nice bounce back outing for him, and we go to the 9th inning in a 3-1 game. Wraps up with a 11 a.m. game Los Angeles time tomorrow. Dylan Cease, very good pitcher for the White Sox. He's 4-2 with a 339. Better than those numbers even show. Tyler Anderson 7-0 with a 259, and Anderson will bring in a 26-inning scoreless streak into that game. Dodgers hope that it's a series rubber match. They lead 3-1 as this game goes along to the 9th inning.
Yeah, it's been an exciting game for Dodger fans. Tony Gonsolin had a great 5th inning. Got into a little trouble, pitched his way out of it, goes 6 again, and we're getting some production from somebody outside of the top 3 in the lineup, and that's exciting.
Yeah, Will Smith, Cody Bellinger both homer. The bullpen so far has been exceptional. Jose Ruiz out of the White Sox pen here. And Daniel Hudson will begin to get ready for his 9th inning save opportunity. Barring a add-on here by the Dodgers. Trey Turner leads it off. 1 for 3 with a single back in the 1st inning. It's one of the 4 hits in this game for the Dodgers. After Turner's base hit in the 1st, Smith hit his homer. Bellinger had the home run in the 2nd. Lux had a single in the 5th. That's it. They don't have a base runner since. But thanks to Tony Gonsolin and now Yency Almonte, Brusdar Gratterall, to this point it's enough.
Well, you go back to that 1st inning. Trey Turner, remember he had that little fister into right center. I mean, it didn't really deserve a hit, but great placement. And then Will Smith follows with a home run.
This ball is crushed. Deep left field. Forget about it. Gone. Home run, Trey Turner. 3rd home run of the game for the Dodgers, and they lead 4-1. Three guys that have gotten lucky number 7 tonight.
Yeah, you talked about it last night where Turner's really been swinging the bat well on that inside fastball. You see that pitch located on the inner half of the plate. Popped his hips and just flew that thing out to left.
5th home run in his last 15 games. Just 2 over the first month and a half. Will Smith tried to get his 2nd one there. A little behind the fastball. Now, 1 game after they didn't have an extra base hit, they get 3 long balls to carry the load tonight. They're much more home run reliant on the homestand because they had to be, since they weren't driving runners in with base hits once they got them there. Tonight they haven't really had any chances. In fact, they don't have a single at bat with a runner in scoring position in this game.
Well, that's how you maintain your average with runners in scoring position. It can't go down, right?
That is true.
It's one way to attack it.
It's that UCLA math. Two balls, two strikes. That's through the left side. Base hit Will Smith. Back-to-back hits to open the ninth. They had just one over their previous 6 innings. Homer Turner, single Smith.
Will Smith finding his groove here in Chicago. Smoked the ball last night for a base hit. Drove a ball into the seats. That one right there. Got to be really great to get him going, huh?
Mm-hmm. Get him going, get Muncy back, looking more like Muncy. Our play of the game in this one is from Will Smith, brought to you by your Southern California Volkswagen dealers. His 7th home run of the year. Got the scoring started in the first inning.
So good to score before the other team even has a chance to sit down in the dugout. I mean, you're out there as the home team, and all right, we're ready to play a ball game, and you haven't even gotten to the dugout, and you're down 2. I mean, that really was big for the Dodgers, just kind of to set the tone, and especially after last night. Good for Will Smith.
After the visit, first one to Justin Turner. Gets a swing and a miss on a ball in the dirt. And not that they don't trust Daniel Hudson, who's been their best reliever, but it would be nice when your closer's not in town to grow this lead even more. In the case that happens, Caleb Ferguson has started to warm. Sky high center field. Luis Robert retires Turner. Bellinger 0 for 3 in the first game, 1 for 2 with a home run tonight. Has Smith at first, 1 away, and swings and misses at a first pitch changeup. 2. Three, 4, and 5 due up for the Sox in the bottom of the 9th inning. It's Moncada, Abreu, Grandal. Their lone run in this game came on a Jake Berger leadoff home run in the 5th. They got a double and a walk after that. They don't have a base runner since. Scott Evans 2-2 on Bellinger.
Talk about the White Sox having 3, 4, and 5 coming up, and you know, normally you think, oh man, 3, 4, and 5, and yes, the names are there, but Moncada hit list coming in at hitting 143, and Grandal 163. I mean, that's the middle of your lineup. That's tough.
I know you're talking about Tony La Russa wanting to stagger righty-lefty, and you still see managers do that, but he's also staggering sub-Mendoza line, sub-Mendoza line. Grounded to first. This will be a tag play at second. The ball hits Will Smith, and he's safe. So Bellinger is out on 3 unassisted. Smith safe at second. 2 gone in the 9th. Yeah, so leadoff hitters at 189, 3 hitters at 143, 5 hitters 163.
I mean, that's just tough, right? And it's not like there are a lot of options. But that was a nice defensive play by the number 4 hitter right
there. Sure
was.
We are going to get Tim Anderson back at some point, hopefully sooner rather than later.
We get Tim Anderson and Lance Lynn, and I think that makes a huge impact on this ball club. I still think they'll win the Central.
Eloy Jimenez.
Yep.
2 gone for Chris Taylor. Takes a ball. Got the deficit in the division down to 4. White Sox do. They're tied with the Indians for second place.
The Guardians.
Oh, I
gotcha.
Dang.
Bam.
I think that might be my first one.
Was that really?
Oh, we don't talk a ton about the team from Cleveland. Second time.
There you go.
The Cleveland baseball team, like the Washington
It was a setup. I got
team.
told in the truck, let's set Joe up right now.
Oh, yeah. You guys did it perfectly. No swing, ball 3.
You talk about the Dodgers 35-20 coming in tonight. The White Sox 26-27. Dodgers also, guys coming back. You can have Kershaw, Heaney. You're going to get Muncy back.
Rios eventually.
Yep. I mean, such a difference. One team is running away with things as far as having a good record. Other teams sub 500.
Count goes full. It's the latest example of the depth that the organization has built.
Dustin May at some point.
Yeah.
I mean, sure, like you're going to have times where you're going to go, oh, what are the Dodgers doing? Oh, they're not winning games. But man.
Taylor down on strikes. That'll end the 9th, but they add a run on a leadoff home run from Trey Turner. All 4 runs tonight coming on homers. Here comes Daniel Hudson looking for the save. On the paternity list still, on looking for the save. He's 4 for 4 in save opportunities so far this season. And he'll face Moncada, Abreu, and Grandal.
You see the 18 innings and the great strikeout to walk ratio, 22-3. Record, don't even look at that. Be asked to shut him down. Here we go. 3-4-5, as you mentioned.
Trying to snap this 3-game losing streak, trying to set up a chance at a series win tomorrow behind Tyler Anderson. And Hudson going to try and do it against the team that he started his career with. One-time top prospect of the White Sox. Debuted the year after they drafted him. Had a fantastic first 3 years in the majors. First couple of those here. His first one to Moncada. A little bit low, ball 1.
Didn't realize out of Old Dominion, same place as Justin Verlander.
They're 1 and 2 on the all-time strikeout list there. Verlander 1, Hudson 2. 1 ball, 1 strike. Well, the White Sox traded Hudson 2 years after he debuted for him, traded him to the Diamondbacks, and it would be another 7 years before Hudson came back here. Just the way that the schedule worked, he was never on a team that came to. This park's had many different names, but guaranteed rate field as it is now.
Came back to where the White Sox play.
That's right.
That would have been safe for you.
Yes.
Right?
So 2-1 on Moncada. White Sox lone run came on a Jake Burger home run in the 5th inning. That was against Tony Gonsolin. He went 6 innings. Almonte a 1-2-3 7th. Gratterall a 1-2-3 8th. 2-2 on Moncada. Hudson throws and strikes him out. Moncada like a house by the side of the road. Watches a fastball for the first out of the 9th inning.
Just dots this thing. Middle part of the plate, but just down at the knees.
One away for Abreu. After 2 hits last night, he's 0 for 3 tonight. Only 3 hits for the White Sox. Dodgers haven't exactly racked up a bunch of them, but 3 of their 6 have left the yard. Takes it, 1-1.
Yeah, the inning the White Sox had a chance to really get back in this ball game. They led off the inning in the 5th with a home run. They had a couple of runners on with 1 out, and Gonsolin just stepped up, got the strikeout against Garcia, and a fly out. That's really been it for the Sox.
Left center field, off of the bat of Abreu. Taylor to the edge of the track has room, and the White Sox are down to their last out. You know, it was interesting you were talking about right before Trey Turner homered, so we didn't get to follow up on this, but Turner had his bloop base hit in the 1st inning that opened the door for Smith's home run.
Right.
Remember, it was a little bleeder of a base hit that opened the door for the White Sox to score their 4 last night.
Yeah, Abreu, this man right here, hit a ball 63 miles an hour, exit velocity. But then after that, double, and man, it was not good. But you're right. That's why you don't strike out. That's why, because if you put the ball in play, you got a chance.
Grandal with 2 gone in the 9th inning takes ball 1. most of the teams that are around in October are better bat the ball than the teams that aren't. It's not a hard and fast rule. There's a stretch there for a few years where like the #1 contact rate team was winning the World Series every year. Not quite like that, but
you've got to be up near the top, right?
Yes.
You got to. You want to talk about swings. I mean, I wouldn't even call that a swing. Sword. That's swinging the sword right there.
1-2 on Grandal. Hudson ready. Here he comes. Into center field. It's a base hit, which looked near impossible after that swing.
Right? I don't know. That looked like the same sort of swing right there. It just was down and away. That pitch, not sure that was even a strike. Feel like that ran into his bat more than he hit it.
Well, it keeps their hopes alive for the moment. Brings up Jake Berger, who's got 2 of their 4 hits tonight.
And he smoked the ball tonight, right? He's.
A hit for Grandal, first base runner for the White Sox since the 5th inning. Couldn't lay off a first pitch slider. You talking about him smoking the ball? Here's his 6th home run of the year. It was a true line drive homer. Okay, 1-1. It's been a strike for a lot of the night. Both sides. The 1-1 pitch. It's ball 2 on Berger. Ball gets by Will Smith. Not a big deal. Gavin Sheets waits on deck. Hudson's 2-1. Bounce foul, and it's 2-2. Full count. Runner at second, 2 gone, 3-2 pitch. Got him with a fastball, and that does it. Dodgers end their 3-game losing streak with a 4-1 win over the White Sox tonight. And they finished the game with their 10th strikeout, which means everybody doesn't get to just enjoy a Dodger win. They get a free Jumbo Jack tomorrow at Jack in the Box with the purchase of a large drink. They can eat that Jumbo Jack while they watch the Dodgers go for a series win.
Little bit of everything tonight. Some excellent starting pitching. Some guys showing up with some power. Bullpen was great. Mr. Hudson coming in and shutting down the White Sox in the 9th.
Dodgers get 3 home runs in the game. Will Smith, Cody Bellinger, and Trey Turner all go deep. They even the series at a game apiece. They improved their record to 36-20 and send Tyler Anderson in his 26-inning scoreless streak to the mound, looking for a series win tomorrow. Barrett Karros and Kirsten Watson, Joe Davis saying so long from Chicago. Stay tuned for Access Sportsnet Dodgers.